guys, Moldran here, and I decided to make my first guide for Arena, and I chose the Mage class. Now Mage has currently the highest pick ratio in Arena, and that's also due to the fact that it's pretty fun to play and also pretty strong right now. And a lot of people use Arena to get gold and card packs to like get those legendaries for constructed play. And I think Mage is a really good class because if you play a Mage well and if you build a Mage well, you're gonna be able to like get 6 or something wins consistently and usually like get a return on playing Arena. Now, first I'm gonna start with the basics and then I'm gonna go into some more advanced stuff and how to build the Mage and so on. Now, I made this Word document here where I have all my information that I need, and we make this full screen and yeah. Okay, so first I'm gonna talk about the cards. Now, top tier cards of Mage, you probably like feel the same. What I have here is Flame Strike and Blizzard. You know, they're premium removal spells, extremely strong, can turn games on their own. Then I have like very strong single target spells, which are Pyroblast, Fireball, and Frostbolt. The legendary from Mage, I think there are better legendaries for a Mage pack. Like for example, if I would have to choose between Ragnaros and Antonidas, probably gonna choose Ragnaros. But Antonidas is still a very good legendary. But yeah, 5/7 for 7 is on itself not that strong, but it's more for the ability to get with it. Because if you cast any spell, for example Frostbolt, you get a Fireball in your hand. So it's pretty cool because it's also like drawing cards and it's drawing fireballs, which is a very strong card. Then the Water Elemental, which is considered often to be the best 4-drop as a creature, and I kind of tend to agree. It's a 3/6, like 6 HP is insane, and it also has the freeze effect. It's like the nightmare to all weapon users, like warriors or paladins. They're gonna be so frustrated playing against Water Elemental because if they attack into it, they can't attack next turn again. And you could also use this, for example, to like freeze big creatures. For example, I don't know if you want to freeze a legendary or Venture Co, just go ahead. Then we have Polymer, the premium removal spell. A lot of people make the mistake to like use it too early. For example, use it in turn 4 on a Chillwind or something like that. But usually you want to save this until like the really big stuff, like Iron Bark Protectors or legendaries. That's what you usually should save it for, and try maybe sacrifice a creature to get this Chillwind deity down. And last but not least, we have the Moldran. Also a pretty strong card because you should often have like something like Frostbolt, Arcane Missiles in the early game that could actually make it like a 2/3 then a 3/3, and you can slowly build it, and it only costs 1 MP, so right from the start it's going to be really strong. It's also really strong against Paladins to like get rid of those 1/1s hero abilities, because this can eat it easily. I can kill a Silverhand Recruit and still be alive with 2 HP. Then the good cards are not like in the premium category. Like if you get any of those cards, you probably always want to pick them. And the thing is, if you get like twice of those, for example, Flame Strike and Fireball, then you have to decide, look at the current deck, okay, what do I need? If you, for example, already have 2 Blizzards and 1 Flame Strike, you might go for the Fireball. But if you don't have any AoE yet, just take the Flame Strike. It's just like applying common sense. Now, good cards, and I don't know whether Arcanist is here, because I think I put him into average cards, but the good cards are Arcanist, Mage, Vaporize, Arcane Missiles, Intellect, Cone of Cold, and Apprentice. Now the Apprentice is really good. It's a solid 2-drop. It's like the same stats as the Raptor, plus there's a bonus effect. And 2-drops are very important, as I'm going to explain later. And this even has a bonus effect, so it's a really good drop. You can play it, for example, on turn 8 to get a Flame Strike with 6 MP plus a creature. Then the secrets, creatures, they are really good if you have secrets, but in general I'm not a big fan of secrets. Now the best secret, the only one that I have listed here in good cards, is Vaporize, but even that, people are gonna play around it. People won't just like attack with a ogre into a Vaporize. They will just like use the Silverhand Recruit or any small creature to play around the Vaporize secret. But you know, sometimes they can't, because you can, for example, try to ping down or keep the board empty of those small creatures and really like force it to like have him sacrifice one of the bigger creatures. But yeah, Mage secrets in general are really easy to identify and not really the best protection compared to, like, for example, Hunter secrets, which are a bit more advanced. But yeah, those creatures are actually pretty good. Like this is a 4/3 for 3, which is already really good on its own. And if you have a secret, it combos really well. Same with the other card. This is only worth if you have a secret, like a 3/3 for 4 is a joke. But if you have a secret, like for example, queue into a Vaporize on turn 3, into Ethereal Arcanist turn 4, you have a 5/5 on the board for 4 MP. This is going to destroy that Stingo, this is going to destroy Chillwind Deity, and going to be really strong. Then the 2 spells here are also pretty good. not quite as good as the super like premium spells, but still Arcane Missiles is really good against killing Worgens or killing Leopard Gnomes. That's where it really shines. If you get lucky, you can even like kill a 2 creature or 2 HP creature on the board. The chance is 50%. For example, if the opponent coins out a Mad Bomber, and you could use Arcane Missiles and have 50% chance to kill it. And that's also really good. And if not, it usually like hits him once, so you can just hero power it next turn. Arcane Intellect is good to keep the draws up. Also combos with Auctioneer, Violet Teacher, and all the other class, or Mana Worm. So it has some combo effects. Cone of Cold, not the best of the spells, but still decent because again freeze, and you could use it to clear minions. But this could also be used to, like, for example, prepare for a Flame Strike or a Blizzard in the next turn. Okay, then we have the average cards. Frost Nova. Some people like rank this higher because they say like, I'm going to Frost Nova turn 6 and then Flame Strike turn 7. But in general, Frost Nova on its own for one card, I think is not enough. Like you could also play minions in turn 6 or do something else. It has its use, especially if you get a few Ice Lances. But in general, I don't see it as that strong of a card. Same for Arcane Explosion, like 1 damage to all is not that good. I mean, you have to get some Spellbound minions in the deck, but the Spellbound minions, like on their own, are usually pretty bad. Like for example, a 2/2 Geomancer would die to an Mana Berserker or to a Sun Fury Protector, like all those 2/3 minions for free. So in general, not the best choice, but still decent. Icelands again, also not good. Like it really, but it depends. Like Iceland's combos really well with some card. If you have 2 Water Elementals, 2 Blizzards, 2 Frostbolts in the deck, then Iceland is actually a decent pick because you can use it for like 4 damage in almost any situation. Mirror Image, again, very, very good for combos. For example, if you have a Knife Juggler, you can protect the Knife Juggler, plus you get 2 Juggles out to dagger attacks. So Mirror Image is really good. But the problem with it is if you don't get it in the early game, later on it's like a waste of a card. If you get like Mirror Image in turn 7, it's not gonna save you. And you rather want to get like one of the big creatures turn 7. So I would say, again, just average. Then bad cards are all the secrets I listed here, except Vaporize. But Vaporize Vaporize is better than those, but still. A lot of people are confused about Iceberg. They say like, Iceberg is an insane card, it's an epic secret. But the thing is, in Arena, Iceberg usually never helps. Like I've seen a few Icebergs in Arena, and all they do is like delay the loss by 1 more round. But Iceberg on itself doesn't really like change the game suddenly. It's differently constructed where I can like build a Rushdown deck, like Wreckful's Freeze Rushdown deck, and hope that the 2 Pyroblasts that they have in the deck are gonna do the job. But in an Arena deck, usually I can't like draw all the cards that you need for this playstyle, and I think Iceberg in general is a bad card in Arena for Mage. Okay, so those were the cards. Next week I'm going to talk about the synergy effects. And as I said already, like Mirror Image has really good synergies with, for example, Knife Juggler, with Cultmaster as well, because the opponent would have to kill the 2 Mirror Images first and give you 2 card draws for free. It could also protect like the Demolisher and get him going, like get those 2 damage random rolls going. Iceberg combos with Pyroblast, as I said, but in Arena I wouldn't go for that combo. Like I think I never pick Iceberg because of bad experiences in the past. Icelands, already talked about this. Mana Worm, we also talked about this. Spells, yeah, we have the Mana Dig that gains 2 attack in the current round if you use a spell. It's kind of like the Mana Worm a bit. Then we have Arcane Violet Teacher, Auctioneer to draw cards, Cobalt Geomancer, Surdrak, Dalvan Mage to boost the damage of spells, also Malygos of course. And then we have synergies that don't have to do with building the deck, but actually do have to do with building deck because it makes those creatures stronger. For example, the Acolyte, you can like ping it to draw a card for free. You could get a Gulbasha Berserker, ping it to make it a 5/6, a Worgen, ping it to make it Wind Fury, and also the Mana Berserker. So those are some synergies in the Mage deck that you want to try to get. For example, Icelands. If you just have Icelands and no other freeze spells, it's worthless. All it does is like freeze a creature. But if you have like, for example, a lot of Frost spells, Icelands is actually 4 damage for 1 mana, which is really good. Okay, and building the deck, this is now the important stuff. How do you build a deck? And I would say, as I said, always get top tier Mage cards above anything else. And with that I mean the cards that are listed on top here in the premium section, like Flame Strike, Fireball. That's probably what you're doing already anyway. We also talked about this already. If you have to choose between Fireball and Flame Strike, look at the current deck, look what you need. Do you need AoE? Do you need single target damage? And then make your choice. The question is like, what happens if you get Fireball and Flamestack as like the first pick? I would probably go for Flamestack because there are more like Fireball is like in the same category with Sheep and Frostbolt, and Flamestack is really like the best removal. But you get, and the thing is like Polymorph and Frostbolt are pretty common, but Blizzard is not that common. So for Blizzard it's a rare, so you can't really rely on getting Blizzard. So I would choose Flamestack over Fireball if it's like the first pick. And yeah, this is the most important thing. This is a thing where most people lose their games. The early game is very important to prevent the rushdown for Mage. So it's really important that you have enough 1-drops, 2-drops and 3-drops to survive the early game. The mid game can be weaker than other classes. As a Mage I tend to have quite a lot less 4-drops than other classes. Like as a Paladin or Druid I usually stack them, get those Chillwinds and that Stingers in. But as a Mage you have very strong late game, and you know at turn 6, turn 7 you can clear the board usually. So that's something you should usually rely on. And yeah, that's currently how I build. I want to get around 2 to 3 1-drops to like get it going. Turn 1, the 1-drop is usually very, very good. It could be like Invoke Infiltrator, a Leponome, Archer Squire, Mana Worm. Those are all really good options here. Then you want to get, this is now important, 4 to 6 2-drops. Could be a combination of Knife Juggler, Amani, Frostbolt, Apprentice, like all, even a Raptor. Like even a Raptor is important if you don't have like 4 to 6 2-drop yet. That's like really important to secure the early game. Then I get 5 to 6 3-drops, which could be Shattered Sun, Cleric, Worgen, Acolyte, Harvest Golem. Those are just a few examples. But I see now already like this is 5, 5 plus 2. We already have almost half of our deck up to turn 3. And this is now where the bigger cards come in. I usually get 4 to 5 4-drops, and this includes Polymorph plus Sheep, so you know there's only like 2 or 3 minions usually, which I try to like get the Yeti, that Stingo, Ogre Mage, so decent 4-drops minions. And the late game is like just getting the AoE removal and a few creatures that do damage, or a Pyroblast. That's pretty much the late game. You know, you get like 2 Flame Strikes and 1 Blizzard, or just 2 Flame Strikes or 1 Flame Strike, and then a few creatures like an Ogre, for example, is always good. If you're lucky, you can get a Legendary, and War Golem, Venture Core are also good options, for example, to finish it off. And yeah, here I say, again, always secure the early game first, because nothing is worse than when you lose a game in the early game, because let's say you have a really good late game, you have like 2 Flame Strikes, you have a Ragnaros in your deck, you have Archmage and Tonidas, but the thing is, if the game is over after like turn 4 or 5 and you can't come back from that anymore, even Flame Strikes won't save you. And that's why the early game with the 2-drops and 1-drops is so important. Even though it seems like weak, even though it seems weak to take a Rizven Raptor, which is 3-2, but nothing else, over let's say a Venture Core, or over a Ogre, or over something like big, you know. But it's usually important, because as a Mage you have to survive the early game, and usually once you get to this stage, once you're able to like use your big cards, once you're able to get effective use out of Flame Strike or get a really good Pyro on his face, then you will win the game anyways. And that's why it's important to focus on the early game. And here I made an example of building a 12-win deck, which I'm going to show now. Now this is like the VOD where I built it, and it takes like 10 to 15 minutes to build a deck. A bit longer than other streamers, but my decks tend to do very well usually. And I think it's important to like take your time when you build a deck. Always consider, okay, what do I have right now? What do I need? And what synergies effects do I have in a deck? What do I want? Because you can't get your dream deck all the time in Arena. Often in Arena, you have to choose between like something bad and something even more bad. And you have to make sure, okay, what's the best choice out of like 2 or 3 bad cards? And you also have to like see, okay, currently my deck is very early game focused. I need to get some late game now. Even if you like end up like dropping a Knife Juggler for, let's say, an Ogre, but if you need the late game and if you need the Ogre, then you have to do that. And this deck I should have here, yeah. How can I show this? That's not what I wanted to see. Just want to see my deck. Oh, there we go. So this is the deck that I had like with 12 wins yesterday. I only played 1 arena yesterday. Played this Mage and ended up getting 12 wins. 12-2, pretty solid. Almost got 12-0, but other people had a problem with that. And you can see I got the 1-drops, I got 3 mana worms, 1 Archer Squire and 1 Shield Bearer. The Shield Bearer is not a good card, but I got it because I had no better alternatives. Then I got 2-drops, Amani, Mad Bomber, Knife Juggler, Sorcerer's Apprentice, you know, all really good minions. I got 4 strong minions. You should also get 4 strong minions on 2, plus 2 spells, which come with my 3 mana worms. Then I got an Acolyte, Counter Spell, Imp Master, Kirin Draw, Mage, Questing. The Questing was pretty useless, but I thought it would come with the 1-drops, but I never got him in the early game. Worgen, Shattered Sun, and for example, one synergy here that you might see here is Mad Bomber into Worgen, Acolyte, and Amani Berserker. Like, he could either draw cards here or enrage those. So you see I have a lot of combos here. Then for the mid game I have only 2 creatures, a Defender and a Gnomish Inventor, plus 2 spells here. So you see, I don't need to have that many 4-drops as with other classes. Then 5-drops on, oh, this is the late game here, the 6 cards. Gurubashi, that can enrage, Storm per Commando. There could be better 5-drops, like Avenger Go would have been much better than this. Then I have an Ogre, and Blizzard, 2 Flame Strikes, and Dragon Roars. Now this is a really good deck, and this is why it went 12 wins. But you know, you can get worse decks than this and still get like 7 wins. And 7 wins consistently in Arena is all enough that you need to like play it forever and always get those packs to get more and more like cards in Hearthstone and be strong and constructive play as well. Now last but not least, I want to give some additional tips, and this is now the more advanced stuff in building mages decks for Arena. And first to say, simply use the fact that you're a mage, that you are a mage to your advantage. Now a lot of people are afraid of mages, especially of turn 7. A lot of people are like scared of like being flame strike. And you know, you might not even have a flame strike in your deck, or you might not have it in your hand yet. But what you should do is at turn 6 is you should like make the opponent think that you have a flame strike even if you don't have one. For example, if he has like a few creatures on the board and one is a Chillwind Yeti with 4/5, you could try to pin down the Chillwind Yeti to 4/4. This will make him like see, for example, especially if it's a lot of cards, this will make him believe, oh, he's just preparing the Chillwind Yeti now. I'm not gonna play my minions net. I'm not gonna play my minions now. I'm not gonna play anything now. And next turn you could, for example, stall a bit longer. You could wait for your removal spells that might come later, or you could play some minions out now without him having like complete board control. Because if he knows, oh, this mage does not have flamestar yet, I'm gonna throw everything on him to finish just now. Then you're gonna be in trouble. And how can you like make him believe with flamestar? As I said, ping down the Chillwind to 4/4, for example, and then you could, for example, what I often do is like hover a bit over one card. So I'm like mouse overing over one random card. Like, so if the, for example, Shaman I'm playing, let's say I'm playing against a Shaman, he's gonna think, ah, he just pinged down my Chillwind, and this one card that is like targeting there all the time, this must be Flamestrike. And the Shaman might like not play a Fire Elemental that will like won him the game at that point, because he would have complete board control, and you can't deal with that. But because you made him believe that you have a Flamestrike, so use that to your advantage. Same with like a Pyroblast, like make them not drop below 10 HP, or make them not want to do that. Another thing I have here is, yeah, Polymer, I already talked about this. Don't use it too early. Don't use it on the Chillwind. Rather save it for the Earth Elemental or something bigger. And you can either like sacrifice one of a creature just to save the Polymorph, because Polymorph is so important to save. Then I said there's no best style of play in Arena. This is also true. The thing is, it always depends on the decks, the opponents, and the current flow of the game. For example, if you play now, you might not get your dream cards to draw. Like sometimes you get the perfect early game, you get all the 2-drops, all the 1-drops that you need. But sometimes, you know, you get like one 4-drop and one 5-drop in your opening hand. And then it's like, how can you still get the best out of that? That's really important. Then a lot of people, what they do, for example, as I said with Ice Block, is they try to rush down the other guy. They try to like rush down and hope for a turn 8 Pyroblast to kill him. But in general, it's usually not a good idea. Now, what I had most success with in Arena is I just like control it, I play it slowly, I try to keep the board clear all the time, and eventually win. And this usually works for me. That's how I got most of my 12 wins with. And this like all-in rushdown style, I think it's more suited for constructive, where I get like the perfect cards and the perfect synergies and perfect combination of cards where it really works and you can rely on it. But in Arena, you barely draft all the cards. Like, you're not gonna draft 2 Ice Blocks, 2 Pyros every time. And that's the thing, is take it control, don't risk too much, and you might end up with a good win-loss ratio. And last tip I always see in Arena is when I play against mages is they have plenty of secrets. Like some mages have 3 or more secrets, and I'm just like amazed by the fact that they actually pick those pretty crappy cards. The thing is, good players will work around secrets. Good players know all the secrets, they know how they work exactly, and they're gonna play around them. They're gonna slowly bait them out, play around them, and then the secret is like usually a very bad value. Unless you have like 5 secrets and Kirin Tor mages and like Ethereal Arcanis or whatever. But yeah, I think secrets should be much less common in Arena, especially from a mage. Now, Hunter secrets are a bit stronger, but mage secrets really are not as strong, can be easily played around by good players. Now, what secrets are good against are like bad players. So if you are playing against like the first game or the second game, there's no like matchmaking in Arena. So if you like start a new deck, you can play against either really good players or against very bad players at the start. And against very bad players, the secrets might work because they gonna do some stupid shit. They don't know what you have, or might not know how to deal with it, and it might help you. But if you really want to get more wins, if you want to get like 6, 7, 8, 9, well, let's say 12 wins, at 10 wins, a secret is not going to do anything. The players at 10 wins, or who got to 10 wins, all experienced players and usually know how to handle them. And yeah, that's pretty much my Mage Arena guide. I hope you like all the information. I'm probably going to upload this document as Google document somewhere, and also link to the Twitch TV, like where I built my own deck that went to 12 wins that I showed a bit earlier. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That was my first guide. I'm also going to make a general guide, like which mistakes to avoid in building arena decks, because that's probably important together with this, because this was very mage focused. But you know, there's more to building arena decks than this. I hope you enjoyed the guide. Let me know what you think about. Thanks for watching. I'll be back.